Hello and welcome to another weekly vlog. It is Monday, but it is not any old Monday. It is Monday the 30th of January and it is Darren's birthday. Do you want to tell them what age you are?
32. Seems we waste.
It's Darren's 50th birthday today. 50! Half a century. Why are you looking at me like that?
50.
So I'll show you his cards in a minute.
Disgrace.
I pestered and pestered and pestered. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? So he wants to get a tattoo. I wish I was there. I'd tell that'll be a present to be there when he's having the tattoo. He's never had one before and he doesn't like needles. So I'm paying for his first tattoo. I got him a pair of boots and a man bag with a tarry on it. I think my parents just gave him money. His dad will have given him money. His brother sent him a really nice looking African bottle of vodka. That's a lovely bottle, I have to say. So yeah, 50. He's cooking gammon. Yes, he's cooking on his birthday because I don't think he trusts anyone else to cook.
Isaac didn't believe me what was cooking it in, so I made him pour it over it, and it's still, oh, it's disgusting.
Oh right, he's cooking a gammon. There's a text. Have you a number of? Oh, I don't know. That's from a mum of one of Isaac's classmates. He's cooking gammon in Pepsi. Yes, in a slow cooker, because apparently it's nice. So we shall see. We shall see later.
Yeah. You won't believe how hard it was to buy 1 can of full fat Coke.
Full fat Coke.
No,
Right.
No, it does it.
So I'll show you his cards, and yeah, if I remember. No, I'll probably not. I was gonna say if I remember I'll show you his tea, but I'll not remember that because we'll be hungry at that stage. But yeah, 50, big 50. I shall check in with you guys later.
He's supposed to say it doesn't look anything like it.
Okay, birthdays. That's from the dogs. That I don't know who that one's from. That's from his dad. That's from me. It's really naff because the only two 50th birthday cards for male were those two. I didn't pick the Only Fools and Horses one because I didn't know how much of a fan he was. I know he likes it, but there was no way I was not getting a card with a big 50 on it. It was not happening. That is from his brother, which is a pretty cool card, it has to be said. That, you can see who that's from. That's from Isaac. And my parents are the masters at the awful birthday card, but not on purpose. Not like, ironically, they just pick awful birthday card. That's a gym bag and weights. I don't think I've ever seen Darren in a gym in all my life. Have you ever been to a gym?
I have never been inside a gym in all my life.
Didn't think you had.
Or a Trevor. Or a Matt.
This is the vodka. Isn't that a really nice bottle? Vosa African vodka. Look at the bottle. That's lovely. Very nice. There we go. He's wearing his shoes or his boots that I got him. New boots. And he's put his man bag. Why is it when I'm zoomed out on this it's really like pixelated? You know what you call noisy? Like grainy?
It's because it's a digital zoom rather than optical zoom.
Oh, that doesn't even make sense to me. So, yeah. Have you anything to say on this auspicious occasion that you've turned 50?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing at all.
You're halfway to 100.
Yeah, it's like I told you on the timeline, 1973 to now.
He's going to bore us again now.
1973, about the same distance, Nosferatu.
Yep.
Well, it's been out a few months.
Right.
And now I'm bald.
Right, I'll leave it at that. I'm going to do some video editing. There's my comfy cushion.
No.
61. My kids said never forgive me.
You make a wish?
What is it?
It's gluten free.
Ooh! Slice the cake.
So you can actually eat
slice
it.
the cake like Weasel.
It's free. The choice of gluten free cakes are very limited.
Where's yours?
As in, there's one.
Oh my god. What's the game like? Basically what you're doing it is you have to like chase a disc Xbox disc football.
It is Tuesday and I am on my way. What is that gravelly sound? I'm on my way to my parents. Have to take my mum up to Antrim today, which is the next town over from us. She wants to get my dad some pyjamas at a store I got them for him from at Christmas. Apparently very comfy and he likes them. He spends a lot of time in pyjamas, so we're going. I'm driving the wheelchair mobile, which, it's so much hard work getting my mum in and out. And up to Antrim today. First of all, I have to go to the petrol station. Let's turn you around and see if anyone's inappropriately parked today. No, they're not. We're alright. There's nobody parked beside the pumps today. So I need to get petrol and I need to post off one of the phones that was sent to my dad that shouldn't have been. Somebody's using the washing machine. I find this really weird. There's like washing machines outside, but they're massive. I tell you why they're probably there. It's like an outdoor laundrette. They're probably for football kits. Wait and see if I can show you. And they want that. See, it's been used. Okay, that's petrol done. Washing machine still, I can see a St. Louis tracksuit in there. Darren doesn't ever want to use it. I'm like, but it's a washing machine, it'll be clean. Not using that. But I mean, if you had loads of bedding, you know, stuff that you have to break up, like I don't know, I think our washing machine's 9 kilogram, I don't know, but you know, if you have like under sheets and pillowcases and duvet covers and then you change more than one bed on the same day, you can't fit everything in the washer. I thought, well, that'd be perfect. And we don't have a tumble dryer. It's just the expense. It like uses so much energy. I would love a tumble dryer. The only time I've ever experienced a tumble dryer is when we went to Portrush, which is a seaside town in Northern Ireland, to a little cottage for a week, and there was a tumble dryer. And see, when you put towels in it, oh my god, they were so soft, and just they felt so nice when they come out. It's like, oh, I would love a tumble dryer. But realistically, I do realise that it costs a lot of money. If we had a big family, then yeah, you know, it makes sense, loads of kids, but there's only 3 of us. So I do not have a tumble dryer. Maybe in my retirement, maybe Isaac will have a load of kids. And then I'll have an excuse to have a tumble dryer. Yeah, so going into my mum's, just got my petrol. I swear it's a thing, me having to put petrol in this car. We're going to Antrim. It's really, really cold today, really chilly. Got my coat in the back, I've got my heated seat on, and I've got my heated steering wheel on. Very fancy. It's a good job these cars are, I don't have to buy them in it. I'm also thinking about, right, this will have no interest to any men watching this. There's a thing called dermaplaning, and I always put it off, thought, nah. What it is ladies of a certain age, maybe even some younger ladies, but only for me the past few years, you get like this peach fuzz on your on your face, like really, really fine hairs. And apparently a lot of women do a thing called dermaplaning where it's like a scalpel. Most people go to professionals, but you can do it yourself. And basically you angle the scalpel and you just like put it down your face. It's like shaving, but it takes off the dead skin as well. So apparently it gives you a better base for makeup. It's good for your skin. It clears up like acne and stuff like that. It's apparently really good for you. And it doesn't grow back thicker like a beard. That's what put me off. Like, what if I do this and I get a beard? But no, that doesn't happen. So I've asked a couple of girls that I know that have it done, and they've 2 magpies. One for sorrow, one for joy. Happy magpies, hello. Happy with that. That's a good start to my day. 2 magpies. 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy. There is a longer poem of which I've forgotten, but I never see any more than 4 magpies at once, so we don't have to worry about that. I just want to see 2 magpies, always. I don't want to see 1, sorrow, and I don't want to see a girl or a boy, because no more children, thank you. Although, I will say I regret never having another one. You know, like the selfish side of me when I was like younger, because I'd have liked to have had at least 2. That was the plan until I got so ill, and I knew that, I told this story before, I'll not tell it again, but I was so ill the first time I wouldn't have been able to look after Isaac if I got pregnant again when he was like really young, and it didn't seem fair, so we made the decision not to have any more children. Plus I had a really complicated birth, so that wasn't, but I would have went through that again in a heartbeat. It was just the health situation during pregnancy that was the issue. It's okay when you've no dependents and you can lie all day going, oh, I was so sick, guys, so sick, I had to be hospitalised and stuff. And you can't do that with a toddler in the house, you know. So I would have had to have had the second child when Isaac was like, before he even went to school, which it wouldn't have been fair on him or Darren, so I didn't. But yes, 2 magpies, 2 for joy, we're happy with that. I'm not going to blather any more to you. So dermaplaning, yes, I'm going to hopefully look into having that done to take the peach fuzz off my face, because I swear to God, when the sunlight hits my face, I've got a moustache. It's not good, folks. Tomorrow night, not that you will see this after this has all happened, but I'll tell you, I know tomorrow night I've got an 8 questions with a channel called Have Cheetah Will View. He's got a cat that he calls his cheetah, and Will View, he watches loads of movies. But he's done this series, 8 questions with, where he's interviewed YouTubers, actresses, directors, all sorts of people, like all obviously from small movies. He's done all of the Cinema Squad bar Joe. I know Joe's completely busy at the minute, he's getting married and stuff, and he's moved house. But yeah, he's doing me on Wednesday night, and I'm so nervous because it's not a short thing. Most of them are like around 2 hours long. I've seen some go over, and I'm really nervous because I can't see what the hell I've got to say that's going to be remotely interesting in an interview. So yeah, you know, like actresses and directors and writers can talk about what their work, and like the Cinema Squad, most of them are really you know, like they've been to college and done film studies and they want to get into writing screenplays. I just watch movies and say what I think of them. It's a different thing entirely, so I'm a bit nervous. And then on Thursday night, you see, both of these people I had arranged to do this with before, and I had to cancel on both. The interview one, it coincided with something else, but I'd already booked it, and then it was Isaac's open night, and then Isaac's open night came up, and I had to cancel. The other one on Thursday night, the night after, is Mike from a channel called Did You See That? Lovely guy. I had booked one his channel last year, and then my dad got shingles and got, you know, I just was in and out so much to their house. I didn't know where I was going to be. I didn't have any energy, and I had to cancel. I took a little bit of time out as well. You probably remember sort of last year for a month, I maybe a couple of months, I took some time out. So I had to cancel on him. So I've got 2 in a row, and there's no way I'm going to say no a second time, because that's just rude. Mike's lovely, and I'm on with a few other people that I know. I watch all their channels, and they're all really nice guys, so that'll be awesome. I'm looking forward. I'm not nervous about that one. I'm relaxed about that because it's just a chat about movies with a lot of really nice people, so I've nothing to worry about there. But the Wednesday night one I am nervous about, because I don't know Patrick very well at all, and you know, it's, if you kind of know someone, you feel comfortable and you have that rapport. And Patrick's lovely, but I don't know him very well, and I do tend to be socially awkward, and I just don't want to do that in front of people watching, you know what I mean? Plus it's like at a time that I don't see many people watching, because it's 7 p.m. my time, which means in America it's going to be like around lunchtime, around noon or just after. And who in America is going to be watching YouTube in the middle of the day? No one. Which means there'll probably be nobody in the chat, which again makes me nervous. Just the time difference is a pain when you're trying to do streams with people in different countries. But yeah, I will stop waffling now, that's enough. I'll check in with you. Hey, that's that big pothole that got me yesterday as well. oh, I'm not even going to talk about the pothole. I'm hopefully going to go to the cinema tonight to see either Plane or a man called Otto. So I'm looking forward to that. I shall catch up with you guys later.
Turn around, look at what you see in her face, the mirror of your dream. Make believe I'm everywhere, hidden in the light, written on the pages is the answer to a never-ending story. Reach the stars, fly a fantasy, dream a dream, and what you see will be.
Can you see that, believe it or not, is a fledgling? It can't fly yet, and he's been trotting about our garden all day. I was worried that he was like an injured bird. Sorry about all that mess, guys. It's all... Oh, he's going to hide there, bless him. Or is he going to go behind the oil tank? Right, that's Mr. Foxy. He's saying if you'd move Mr. Foxy, I could go in the back. I'll get Darren to move that. Oh, he's on Mr. Foxy's head. Darren's just thrown something out for him to eat. Look. Oh. Alright, I must get Darren to move that fox. Oh, bless him. I hope he's not injured. Oh, there he goes. He's behind it now. Oh, I hope he's a fledgling. Don't want to think he's injured. What can you do? What's he trying to do? There he goes. He's in the back of that. That's a good hiding place. And then there's a massive bush there he can hide behind. I can still see movement there. I can hear Dobby. Oh, bless him. Hello, Dobby. Hello, Dobby. I'm watching a bit of TV, Dobby. I am. You're not going downstairs? No. It is Thursday, and Isaac has made scones at school today, so we're going to have a couple of scones with some strawberry jam for the coffee after our tea while we're watching Pointless. What a absolutely amazing, exciting life we lead. Scones wasn't enough for Isaac. He's having Oreos with his scones. But you liked your scones? Yes. Good. Saturday morning. Molly's there. Dobby's down there somewhere. Oh, I feel like death. Not good. Banging headache. This is like day 4. I shall try to update you later if I feel a little bit better. Hello. It is Saturday. There's much to tell you this week, but I'm not going to do it in the car when it's noisy. I'll update you at a different time. We at the moment are going to see Knock at the Cabin, which I'm really looking forward to. It's Shyamalan's new film. I am a fan. I like Shyamalan. I'm aware The Happening was absolutely awful, but I've liked everything else he's done. Even Old, even though everyone else complains about that one, I liked it. I've heard people say this is really, really good. I've heard a couple of people say it was disappointing. It's based on a book, but the ending has been changed from the book. I haven't read the book. I think it's by someone called Paul Tremblay, who's like a horror author, and people say it's a really good book. So we shall see. I'll let you know, obviously. Yesterday I was meant to go see The Whale, which, if you know me at all, you'll know I've been looking forward to seeing for months. I booked to go see it in Queen's Film Theatre in Belfast, of all things, which is a little independent university theatre. Nowhere near us is showing it, which I cannot get my head around at all, because it's going to be a big seller. And as I'm always complaining about my parents' health, and as I said a week ago, excuse my French, when shit hits the fan, it's us that gets the call. Darren went in to pick up some medication yesterday that should have taken no more than an hour.
It should have taken about 20 minutes.
Yeah, but the drive in and the drive back.
Oh, well, yeah, but the time in Ballymena
I think you were in there 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I missed being able to leave to go to see my screening. Basically, my mum's anxiety has hit stupid proportions to the point that she's raving like a mad lunatic. She's ranting, she's imagining things, she can't talk properly. They're trying to get her medication straight, but it's really bad. My dad's sticking his head in the sand as is usual. Yesterday morning when I called about all of this, he'd not been to bed, he'd been up all night, and he was still half pissed because I could tell. Darren went and looked in the bin, and inside a bin bag loads of cans of lager. My dad has diverticulitis, not very well. I knew he'd been up drinking at night, I just knew, but that's the proof. I mean, he wasn't sober yet. I can't even tell you how bad my mum was, but it was bad.
Yeah.
I've had headaches like you would not believe for days. Migraine headache to normal headache, just off and on. More or less permanent. Actually, and saying that, knock on wood, it's alright right now. I don't know what this current from is doing.
Do you want to touch wood? Just let me know.
What, your head? On your neck? Let this guy go, see what's out. Go on then.
I think he's waiting for that little green one. Cool little green
I like
car.
the green car, yeah. I love that car. I love a nice bright green car. I'll look now and see if them chairs are still there. I think they're away.
Yeah.
I can't see. Can you just look, both of you, so that one of you sees it? Because obviously I'm driving, so I'll not be able to
There we
see.
go.
Oh, happy days. So the council, my dad's up as well, 3:30. So Darren went in because the doctor had to be called out. The doctor tried to phone her. She'd managed to knock the ringer off the phone again.
I had 4
They'd
calls with
switched
the doctor.
Alexa off again. The doctor was on the phone to Darren 4 separate times. Darren went into great detail about the situation, how it is. The doctor ended up going out to the house where my mum accused him of not believing she was ill, which she also accused all of us. Basically, she's just gone mad. That's the only way I can explain it, and that sounds disrespectful. It's not meant to sound disrespectful, but she's just...
Well, her medication hasn't been right.
They're
So,
trying to get...
Can't be helped how she's at the minute. Well, you know what I mean by that.
Basically, the situation is she needs her meds changed. She's always been on really high level antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication like lithium, which she had to be taken off because it was bad for kidneys, which she has issues with. They're trying to get the mix right. They're taking her off Valium, was the old name. It's called diazepam now, but since they took her off that to try and find the right thing, it's just not gone down well at all. It's
Nobody told the doctor.
she can't be on that any longer. Basically, it's not meant for as long as she's been on it. So, long story short, Darren spoke to the doctor a couple of times. Then he went in. Now, take into consideration we live 10 miles away from town. My dad lives about half a mile from the GP surgery. Darren had to go in to pick up the meds. I was out of my tree. Darren went in to...
Don't forget the prescription story.
Oh God, I've only
Jesus.
got a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So I went in, got the meds, was messed about by the receptionist at the GP surgery who gave him the meds and a note from my dad. A note from the doctor. Darren left, went down to the chemist to get it. They asked him about in there. Oh, we can't give you this, it needs a head pharmacist to sign it off. Asked him about. He's in there at least half an hour. Then the GP surgery called and said, you forgot one of your prescriptions. Basically, very long, I'm not that close, come on. Very long story short, she hadn't given him it. It was behind the counter, and she argued with him that he'd left it, and Darren says, no, I didn't. I took everything you get, and she tried to argue. He went back. Other receptionist came out under her breath and apologised. Yeah, but apparently it was sitting here under her breath. She knew that Darren hadn't forgotten anything. So we've had all of this that morning. Darren's been a bit annoyed that I've been through all this because my anxiety level's just sky high right now. Headaches, chest pains, you name it. So obviously he's a bit annoyed that I've been put in this position with this. He's gone in to try and sort it. He's been arsed about at the doctor, arsed about in the chemist. So he's not in the best of moods. He's gone in to try and, you know, get the medication to my mum to get it taken as quickly as possible. Here we go, here's the clincher, folks. He goes in, my dad's gone back to bed. He'd left my mum in the living room, sat,
Mid-nervous breakdown.
basically mid-nervous breakdown, going out of a tree, and he'd gone back to bed. He was in there in the end about a good 3 hours. By the time he got back, I spent the time defrosting the freezer because I was that stressed. I needed something else to think about.
You did a good job as well, that day.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
I missed the wheel, which I'm
It's
not
a
happy
tight
about.
corner,
Yeah, I
isn't
know. I went in last night to take Isaac to Scouts. Got a text, can you take my two? There, I'm back. The one that has been in for over a year and still hasn't got a shirt, purely because nobody else was that size, has now got a shirt given to him with all the starting badges already pre-sewn on. So it's wonderful if your parents don't bother their arse to get their kids. Oh, that's flashing.
Yeah.
If the, you know, don't bother your arse getting your kids a uniform for a year. We will give them 2 uniforms.
Yeah, we'll take pity and just give you one because we're sick of seeing your kid turn up. Get over a bit, Jesus Christ.
So it hasn't been a good few days.
Empty one.
Went in last night, sit with my mum while Isaac was at Scouts, and I basically said to my dad what I thought. I wasn't rude, but I did tell him it's not working. My mum's now started saying after, I don't know how much, we've got plenty of time, don't panic. No matter how much time of trying to get her talked into respite, she'd finally agreed. I think I'd explained this to you last week. She'd agreed to go in for a week somewhere. I'm not going into respite while I'm like this. And I tell you what, yesterday I didn't eat. I felt so sick, I couldn't eat. Last night I was that fed up, I sent Darren to the ice cream shop and I had a massive ice cream. Half a stone's probably on, don't care. And I said to her, and this sounds horrible saying this to someone, I says, right, I says, we've been trying to help you for years. I said, you'll do nothing that we're asked. I turned to my dad and I says, anything I try to put in place to help you, you contradict by saying you don't want it. I says, it's as simple as this. If you don't want the help, and if you won't accept the help, and if you keep contradicting the help, stop picking the phone up when the shit hits the fan. My dad, I didn't pick the phone up. And I says, it's all well and good you lying in your bed.
They didn't go to the doctors, they didn't go to the chemist.
It's all well and good you lying in your bed while she's sat in here mid-nervous breakdown, and us having to come in. I says, you're lying in your bed and she's picking up the phone, phoning me all the time. What did he say to me? Don't answer it. I says, what do you mean don't answer it? I says, I pick up the phone and she's on there making no sense, rambling, ranting, and I told him some of the stuff she'd said, which was just
Phoned
madness.
my mobile and left a message.
Yeah, she phoned Darren's mobile and left a really, because she couldn't hold
Scary
the phone
message.
to her mouth properly. And all we could make out was really anxious, dad, bad stomach, somebody's coming tomorrow. It's all we could work out. And then when we tried to get back in contact, they'd knocked the ringer off the phone again. So Darren had to end up going in. That was the night before. And this is like a 20-odd mile trip each time that this happens. So I said to them, and you know what he said? He said, if she phones ranting and raving, hang up on her. That's my dad's approach to dealing with this. He says he's had enough. He's had it up to the back teeth. I says, but we've tried to help you. My dad's not coping. He's in a lot of pain. I dread to think what's going on. My brain's saying he could have cancer or anything and no one would know.
He's really not well.
He's not well, you can see it. And I said to him, a blind man could see you're not well. He's drinking to handle the stress and the pain at night, which is exacerbating his diverticulitis. He's not eating anything. And I'm just waiting on a phone call to say, that's it, your dad's toes up, your dad's no longer with us, and then I'm going to be, my mum's not right as it is. And he seems to think he's helping the situation by keeping things as they are. When at the end of the day, what needs to happen is my mum needs to be in a residential care home. She says that she doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to be separated from him. But it takes a responsible adult to say, this isn't working. Her health's going downhill. She's not even getting her meds on the right time. And she's on strong medication. It's not good. It's a lot more long-winded than that. I could talk for another half hour. I won't, but it's bad. I just wanted you to know what's going on this week, and I'm really stressed. I'm really fed up. I've just had it. And you never know every time you go in what you're going into and what's going to happen. And I'm trying decidedly to switch off, because no matter what you do and no matter how much you worry, it's not going to change what happens. But we've decided to update the social worker on Monday as to the situation, to tell her what's happening, and to say, look, he's tying my hands behind my back. I said to my mum, it's as simple as this: if respite care gets offered to you, you're taking it. I says, it's the only thing I'm putting down my foot about. I says, I don't care what's happening mentally, you're taking it because it's needed. So it's the only time I've ever been really... But then again, if I'm not there and somebody comes in, they'll just say no. What do you do? And then people say, well, you've tried, wash your hands of it.
You can't.
That's what my dad said. Wash your hands of the whole situation, get your head showered. And I says, how am I supposed to wash my hands of it when every time something goes wrong, she's on the phone to me and you're in your bed? Just hang up the phone, he says. What am I meant to do with that? That's what I'm dealing with, folks. If you've any advice, please put it in the comments. Very few people's going to listen to all this. And of the people that listen to it, only a couple ever comment. So Alan, if you have any decent advice, stick it down below. I know you're going through the ringer at the minute yourself. Things aren't very easy. But you always have a sensible ear. So yes, that's the situation. Let's go and see a film and take our mind off it for a couple of hours. And then go... Well, I'll tell you on the way back about the little yee-haws at our door. Knocking doors and running and throwing stuff at windows and just generally being pains up the arse. Right, I'm going in. We shall let you know what we think when we come out. That's why it was so flippin' expensive. Oh, that's so chilly. Oh, it is Sunday. I apologise for the shadow over my face. It's very bright even though it is freezing. It's one of those bright days. Just closing off the vlog for the week. I did a little waffle yesterday before we went into the cinema about the old situation at home, so I'll not talk about that anymore. I didn't record a review last night when we came out of the cinema because it was too dark, and then we got home and I couldn't be honest, to be quite honest with you. I think because I will obviously talk at more length about this in my weekly watch. I'm not even going to do an individual review for Knock at the Cabin. I'll talk about it in my weekly thing. I think we were... Well, I don't know about Isaac because he doesn't really know what to expect from Shyamalan. He shouldn't have been in. We're sat there and the film started and it came 15. Up 15 and I looked at Darren and he looked at me. 15? Now, I had read, and I know I had read it was a 12A and I couldn't understand why, so I'm furiously on my phone looking up IMDb and it said 15.
Oh, we're all sat there in 3D glasses.
Yeah, the guy that sold us the ticket said it's in 3D.
And we're like, what?
And I'm like, oh well, no, this showing's 3D. And I'm thinking, I didn't know Knock at the Cabin was in. Thank God we had 3D glasses in the car, so we didn't buy any, we got them out of the car. Sat there for about 20 minutes of the movie and I'm sitting thinking, there's no 3D in this. And he says, I didn't think there was. And then I looked at the guy in front of me and he wasn't wearing glasses. Then I got my ticket out of my bag and it didn't say 3D. So anyway, besides the fact it was 3D, it was a 15. I looked up afterwards, searched results, and there was a thing that said Knock at the Cabin 12A, so that's what I saw. That's wrong. It's different certificates in different countries. In Ireland, now I know I'm in Ireland, but because I'm in the north of Ireland, we're considered the UK, so we generally have to go with their certification. In the south of Ireland, it's 15A, which means you can still bring a kid if you're happy as a parent to bring the kid. But it was 15, and there was Isaac sat. And I mean, we went in completely brazenly because I thought it was a 12A, so I wasn't feeling sheepish or guilty trying to sneak Isaac in. We were stood there as bold as brass. I think it may have helped that the lad that sold us the tickets was new, and he probably was too nervous to. I didn't think, you know. I just thought it was sort of nervous, but yeah. So Isaac watched a 15. And saying that, there was nothing in it. I don't know why it was a 15. Any violence that happened in the movie was off screen. There was nothing shown. I think it was just the serious subject matter of the film is why it was a 15. But I really enjoy Shyamalan, other than The Happening, which I didn't like. I've liked everything else he's done. I know a lot of people didn't like Old. I did. But I'm accustomed to the twist, and I love that. That's one of my favourite things. It's like The Twilight Zone. It always leaves you with something to think about. It always leaves you with something. What?
Prime band.
Yeah, that's probably a Prime van going. No, it's not out for delivery today.
No, it's not.
Prime never deliver my orders on time at the minute. I've ordered some more embroidery cloth to try and do my parents a little embroidery thing for their anniversary, which is on the 15th of February, so there's no way I'm going to get it done in time. Today's the 5th, and they've said that it might be up till the 8th till my stuff arrives, and it's not enough time. But anyway, besides that. So I was sitting waiting for this twist. I was aware it was based on a book by Paul Tremblay, which is very highly rated. I have since looked up what the ending of the book is, which is different to the movie. To be honest, the ending of the book sounded worse. As in, I would have been really frustrated reading that book. But I enjoyed the movie in the sense the acting performances were all really good, the cinematography was all really good, but I needed a powerful ending and I didn't get one. And I'm trying not to judge the movie based on what I wanted and didn't get. So I'm really torn about it. But I didn't love it, and I wanted to love it. I enjoyed it, but I was disappointed. That's the only way I think Darren felt. I think he liked it a bit less than I did. Underwhelming.
A few half-assed backstory elements thrown in that were just quite.
Yeah.
Where's that come from? And
There
then it
was
went
like
nowhere.
a couple of endings that we were sort of like. I'm not going to discuss this because obviously if you haven't seen it, I'm not even going to say what we would have liked to have seen. It just was a story that just came to a natural end with no real massive, big, poignant. You know, I wanted. I don't know. I suppose. Like I was on a stream the other night and someone asked what's your favourite ending to a movie, and it's really difficult when you're hit on the spot and need to come up with an answer to these things without thinking about it. But the only ending I could think of that I love is The Mist, which is an ending that a lot of people really hate, but I'm not going to say what the ending is because you may not have seen The Mist, but it's a real emotional gut punch and it's really powerful. I think that's what I wanted. I wanted something powerful, and it was the opposite of powerful. It was
Flatline.
yeah,
It was like going to the shop to buy a slice of white bread and coming home with a slice of brown. That exciting. I've got brown bread.
the movie needed to like rise to a crescendo, and instead of doing that, I wouldn't say it flatlined, I'd say it started to go down. The
Dive.
further into the movie it
Dive.
got, the lower it got, yeah.
Turned it off.
Isaac enjoyed it, but then Isaac hasn't seen, I don't think Isaac's seen any other Shyamalan movie.
Oh yeah, Drax in it, so of course he enjoyed it.
No, well he didn't. I don't think Dave Bautista looked as far away from Drax as...
He can't get away from looking at Drax.
But yeah, I wouldn't say massively rush out to this full of anticipation. It's brilliant, but I would say definitely check it out when it comes to streaming or whatever. Gutted I didn't get to see The Whale on Friday. I know that Queen's University are only showing it for 6 days, so I doubt I'm going to get to see it. Which is, I mean, it's my top anticipated movie probably of the last 6 months. It's the one I've wanted to see more than any other. So I'm a bit annoyed about that. So we'll see. The thing is, the showings during the week, the car parking's really, really difficult to get. And if you go on a weekend, then you're looking at going at night time, and I don't want to be up. I don't know how close I'll get parked to the venue, and I don't want to be coming out in the dark in Belfast by myself, having to walk back to the car. It's just crap that you have to consider these things when you're female, but it's like there's a show on tonight at like 9:15. I could easily go to that, but then I'm going to be coming out of the cinema like 11 o'clock at night. No, yeah, about 11 o'clock just after it. And I don't know if I'm going to manage to get my car parked even on the same road as that cinema, so I can't chance it. So it's like, what do you do? So yeah, we shall see. But yeah, we're on my way into my mum's. When we were in on Friday night, she's just drugged out of her head at the minute on Valium. So I'm really sleepy and stuff. So, and it sounds awful to say this, but it's preferable to how she was on Friday morning, because that was shocking. And other news, Scouts have got a music night next Friday, where they can bring their instruments in, and it took like literally hours to talk Isaac into bringing in his guitar. The lad that's running this is an explorer scout, which means he's older, and they do. I'm getting there, Isaac. He's not a leader; he's a junior leader, meaning that they do these badges in order to get, they basically they help out with the younger kids. And they have to do certain things to get certain badges. And one of the things that this lad's doing is he's putting on this music night. He gave Isaac a music badge, a level 3 music badge no less. So they're usually supposed to do level 1, level 2 and then the level 3. But Isaac hadn't done anything, and Isaac brought it back and says, I shouldn't have this because I haven't done anything for it. And the lad said, I've seen your TikTok videos of playing guitar and you deserve it, take it. Now, if that's not an invitation for Isaac to bring his guitar into the music night that this lad's running to support him, so that, it's nothing worse than having a night and arranging it and then no one supporting you. Nobody turns up, with whatever it is. Say if you run a quiz night or whatever it is, or a fancy dress night and everybody shows up in normal clothes. You need to sort of support. I tried to, I'm not doing it. I don't want to stand up in front of people. I'm going to look stupid. What if I make a mistake? So we had a long talk last night about doing things in life that frighten you, and we all have to do them, and we talked about things like job interviews, first date, wedding day, driving test. Isaac thinks the driving test doesn't sound frightening. I'm keeping that piece of information and reminding him of that when he goes for his driving test. But you said this one, because I was crapping myself on my driving test. But there's loads of big things that are scary, and Darren went into stuff about stuff that scared him as a kid that was maybe more, applicable to a boy. But he's agreed to do it. He said, and I'll wish it, if I can bring my amp and do electric, I'll do it. If I have to do acoustic, I'm not doing it. Well, thankfully they're allowed to bring their amp and do it electric, so he's got no excuse. So that's happening on Friday night. Kayla and Robert went back. Kayla hasn't been since the first week of December when there was pantomime. Robert's been once since then. He said he wasn't going back because nobody liked him. Then he showed up, and they've given him a shirt. And it's got all the first badges sewed onto it. Basically, the sister was given one. The mother hasn't got them a shirt. The mother who got a takeaway last night, that has to have cost her 50 to 60 quid because there's so many of them from expensive takeout places. Because you have to pay, it's nearly a tenner delivery charge to where, I think it was $7.50, is it?
The restaurant takeouts, they're not takeaway takeouts, they're restaurant takeouts.
Anyway, bloody expensive. I mean, as an example, one of them we've ordered a couple of times, and the delivery charge I think was $7.50.
Yeah.
And it was very expensive, but we had it as a treat. I think Isaac did something, did he? Was it,
it was
exams or something?
Around about 40 quid for 3 of us.
About £40 for 3 of us, and there's 6 of them. But she can't get her kids, and they can go to Garth Brooks in Dublin, and the tickets cost over 100 quid each, and they stayed in a hotel. There's just loads of examples of ways that money's frittered, but they've both been in Scouts now for over a year, and she didn't get either of them the Scout uniform that they're supposed to have. And it got to the point that Kayla was given one because she's normal frame, but Robert couldn't get one because he's a big lad and there weren't any other lads of a similar size. But now they had someone's obviously left, or they've got a shirt from another bigger. Was Miho there, Isaac?
Yes.
He's the only person I've ever seen with a frame similar to Robert. So somebody has donated a shirt which he was given on Friday night, so now but I mean the rest of the kids' parents has had to pay 20 quid each for the shirts. you know, we've all ordered the shirts and bought the shirts, and we're not all flush, but priorities, you know what I mean? But they're ordering takeaways, and their shirts would be, I would be absolutely mortified if somebody had to donate my child's. And I can understand if they can't afford it, I can understand that, but
I'd be mortified if I was expecting somebody else to take my kids every bloody week and pick them up.
Dad's in bed, there's a big shocker. So yeah, that's happening on, light is out here. That's happening on Friday night. Kayla's bringing her electric guitar, and Robert's talking about bringing his violin. So we shall see. But I mean, everything that happened on Friday, I was so stressed out. I'm still really stressed out. I'm gonna have to go to the doctor's this week to get my blood pressure checked, because I've been having really bad chest pains and dizziness, and I'm not eating properly, and it's not good. It's just a horrible time, because I know things are going to get worse, and I'm not being the harbinger of doom. I just know how things are. Something horrible's going to happen. I just know it. I've never been wrong in that instance. So yeah. And then on top of all that, being so stressed, not getting to the booking of the film I wanted to see, I get a text from her that says, "Can you take mine to and from Scouts?" And that was it. You know, not even please, not even hello, not even how are you. Getting to the point, I've just been really annoyed by it now. And then she came in. She was she's one of my mum's carers, which is what makes it difficult. She came in on Friday night while we were sat with my mum, and she could see me trying to sort through all these tablets, and then she asked a question, but before I could answer it, my mum's not good at all, and all the carers know it. She then started talking about her kids and my kids this, and when my kid was 6 months old and she was putting penicillin and da-da-da-da, and changed the whole conversation into something that happened to her kids 15 years ago. Wasn't interested in hearing about my mum, and I've just had it. I really have. Right, I'm going to sign off now. If I can update you later, I will. Thank you for listening, guys. I shall be back next week, hopefully with a slightly more positive review, vlog. Over a night from Kit and Caboodle. Hello, it's Sunday evening. Just before I close my vlog off for the day, I'm playing Sims. I've just got home. Sunday evening. What time's that? It's 6:30. Playing Sims. My Sims just painted this. Now, obviously, it's, I'm guessing, meant to be a dig at American Gothic, the painting. But if you watch a YouTuber called Call Me Kevin, who's a gaming YouTuber, but he's hilarious. He created a character called Jim Pickens, and this looks exactly like the YouTuber that he created. He's very famous for doing Sims videos. Honest to God, I swear, this looks like Jim Pickens. I've never seen this painting before. Your Sims paint, but they tend to replicate the same stuff over and over again, and I have never seen that. I must show it to Isaac, he'll know what I mean. I'm going to put a picture of Jim Pickens in, and you'll see what I mean. But yeah, that's what's happening tonight, folks. I'm waiting on a call from the leader of Scouts to tell me when I'm going in. But thanks for watching this week, guys. It's been a stressful one. I apologise for how much complaining and stressing I've been doing. I shall try to make next week a better one. Thanks for watching, guys.